I'm going to show you guys two different $10,000 long swing trades that I took with Bitcoin using BITU, a leveraged Bitcoin ETF, and why I took these trades, what the actual profit and the reasoning to get in and the reasoning to get out of these trades, why I'm taking long trades, even though I continue to say that, there is potential for the price to come down much lower in Bitcoin and significantly. But I want to show you guys why I'm taking these long trades, even though I believe the price could come down into this red area quite a bit. And remember, this week we have important jobless claims data coming out, and then next week we have PCE, core PCE, and personal income data coming out. So we need to keep in mind of all of these, news events that can very much influence the price structures that we're looking at right now. So it's very important to be cautious and understand the bigger picture as we continue to move forward throughout these next 2 weeks. But to go over these two trades real quick, let me just pull up a picture of it right here, a screenshot I'm gonna share with you guys. So I closed out a 24-hour long trade today, a 24-hour swing trade that I took today to the long side. If you guys want to know, yesterday I purchased these shares with fractional shares yesterday. Today I sold it. I'm gonna tell you guys why I sold. But it ended up being a $255.85 profit that I withdrew, and then I took another small swing trade today with $10,000, and I sold, and that one came out to $121.33 profits, which I'm leaving in the account for right now, but I'll probably take it out like just sometime this week. But here's the reasons why I took these trades and what my expectations for Bitcoin going forward realistically, and how I'm going to continue to take trades as we progress forward. So first of all, if you guys remember, if you want to look at yesterday's video, the last hour of market close was right here for the US. It was right here within this candle. And I said yesterday, I took this $10,000 long trade, trying to keep my position sizing reasonable with a tight stop loss, because we're still making these higher lows. We're seeing these higher low structures, and we created this higher high right here. So there is still plenty of bullish momentum. And yesterday the price came down, found support right at the top of our support area, and it came up much higher. Now I took a a long position right here because we still have bullish momentum, and this dip to me seemed like a really good deal because again, we're not seeing any significant signs of weakening when it comes to you know the price finally just coming down lower. I do expect it to come down lower soon, but until then, I'm like I say this in so many videos over the last 2 weeks. It's important in my opinion to take with tight stop losses, small, reasonably sized position sizing swing trades or even day trades with Bitcoin, because we still have bullish momentum regardless of what the overall ideal structure is. We still have bullish momentum. So I took this trade, and then overnight the price came up much higher, and then it came down lower. And what I said in the video yesterday, I said I wouldn't be surprised. We have some pretty decent imbalance right here, and we also have the 120 moving average still showing some strength. The RSI is not exhausting itself to the upside. We're not seeing it really exhaust itself just yet. So what happened is that we came down, and exactly what I said, I wouldn't be surprised what happened, which is the price found support at the imbalance. It found support at the 120 moving average, and it pushed up much higher. What I ended up doing today, though, is that I closed out that first trade with over $250 profit, because we were coming up. Here's the candle where I sold at. We were coming up much higher, where it's starting to weaken out. It looks like volume is decreasing, and when the next hour came up, it pushed up a little higher, but still volume was super weak, and it didn't want to break this resistance line in yellow, because this area shows to be a really strong sell point where the price doesn't really want to break above it. So I sold right here and locked in my profits, but it came down and then it started going up higher. And I kept telling myself, I'm like, okay, we made a higher low. We're not seeing any weaken. This was before the price came up all the way up here. So we're not seeing any weakening yet. Micro supports are still holding, imbalances are holding. We're not seeing, a bearish confirmation just yet. So when the price came up higher, I didn't want to buy unless we confirm that the price can break above this 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 yellow resistance line, and this is the last hour of US market open. The price came up much higher, and when as it was making its way up, I created this area right here. So what this area is basically, you know, considering the higher low as a bottom point, where I sold, which was the high point at the time within this rally, and the low point, which was down here, right? So all of those points are confirmed, and it gave me this area to where the price can potentially go up to. Now, understanding that, you know, structures change and volume changes dramatically overnight, especially in weeks where we have, you know, big news events coming up, I didn't want to hold the trade overnight, the second trade that I closed off for $121 profit, because, you know, the price can easily come up here after hours, and then as the volume picks up as we enter the next trading day, like super early in the morning, which I'll most likely be asleep, you know, we can easily see dumping happen. So I didn't want to take that risk. Instead, you know, just before the market closed, like 2 minutes before the market closed, the candle was all the way up here, as you can see where it closed out at. I decided to sell because I'm not trying to be greedy. I don't care if the price goes all the way up there. I traded the breakout of resistance, you know, this value structure right here where it breaks out of resistance, and we're entering market close. I use that as a sell signal because, again, volume changes dramatically overnight, and I just don't want to hold what's supposed to be a short-term trade for too long, especially if it's a second trade for the day. So 2 trades locked in very nicely, and now what I'm considering is that, again, I say this on a lot of videos, I do believe that the price can come down into this red area as an overall, you know, higher low from the, you know, this low that we've seen not too long ago, to create a low right here, higher low, and then push up much higher and create a significant, you know, new all-time high. But until that happens, we need bearish confirmation, and until we have bearish confirmation, I just don't want to stay away from Bitcoin too long, because, again, until we have bearish confirmation, we can still trade current fluctuations. We can still see potential continuation of a stretch higher, especially since all-time high is super close. So considering that, I'm still going to leave this area open because, again, you know, this structure is still rallying. Technically, it hasn't broken down much. We're still holding a lot of, you know, bullish momentum right here. So I'm still going to leave this area for the price to go up to overnight. And then, you know, again, this is the last swing low that was, you know, before this higher low right here. So since we have a continuation of a structure right here where it's starting to pick up a lot more, and this found really nice support, this is the next higher low from support. So then what happens is we're still holding above the 120 moving average. So what I did is that I'm factoring in this area up here, which is this swing low, all the way up to the swing high, and then down to that higher low, because this is a very important structure. As you guys can see, it allowed the price to create this higher, you know, higher high from here, indicating that there is still bullish momentum and we don't want to shy away from it. So for a lot of you guys potentially trading spot, which I'm not trading spot, I'm trading ETFs right now. I personally believe, just my own opinion, that as long as, you know, this swing low right here is holding, we still have the possibility of not just coming into this area, but hitting all-time high in the blue line and potentially stretching all-time highs a little bit more, potentially, you know, going all the way up to just about $112,000. So we can still see that happen until this swing low gets broken. If this swing low right here gets broken, we'll obviously be under the 120 moving average, and then that opens the gateway for us to start trading within this area one more time, either retesting previous swing low right here, or break it into the area a bit more and then trying to retest these previous swing lows, but ideally fill the blue area more before we continue to see any future, you know, fluctuations that we can trade off of in this area before we come down lower. So again, I still believe we can come down into this area, but until we have that bearish confirmation of breaking these micro supports and then the overall swing lows, it's important just to be very, very selective, in my opinion, with buy signals within the micro picture and the smaller patterns, to take advantage of any more potential upside, and again, not trade off of emotions or FOMO or hype, purely trading off of the price structures and rather or not we still have momentum to the upside, and what are the signs that momentum can break and we can start creating bearish momentum to keep an eye on. So yeah, as we continue to trade higher, anyone, in my opinion, just taking small long trades like I am within these structures, just keep in mind that it's very important to have tight stop losses. It's very important not to be overly greedy with where you're going, because technically if I was greedy, wanting to see the price come up into this area, I could have easily left the trade open and been like, okay, you know what, it looks like it's going up, I hope it's gonna go up overnight and open tomorrow within US market open here, and I can sell out within that area, instead of just being hopeful like the example I just gave you. As market was closing and we're not making these significant higher highs, I just don't want to watch the price come down while I'm still holding on to these shares, because again, these higher highs are not very significant from each other. Volume is not as strong as it was here. Volume isn't as strong as it was here, where we've seen prices go up like crazy. So again, it's just taking small long positions where it matters most, understanding the structures and trading off of purely micro supports, important sell areas. And as we continue to do this, we can finally see the RSI, eventually begin to, maximize on one of the two sides. But until then, until we have this micro support broken right here, we can easily still move up into this area and then eventually make a new all-time high. That's what I'm keeping an eye on. But the moment we break below this swing low, I'm looking to retest this area, and I'm potentially looking for the price to come down much, much lower, and potentially even breaking below 100K briefly. And then from here, we can trade, some consolidation moves and trade the fluctuation within the blue area. But until this swing low is broken, again, guys, I'm going to continue to be looking at potential small long positions as we continue to move up higher. So yeah, hopefully this video made sense, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.